72-yard dragline buckets. Total weight 93,051 pounds. See, it don't have the teeth on it yet. So it says 13,600 pounds. I bet that's just for this cutting edge right here, I bet. Let's go. So what they did is they've got it dropped. This is Highway 82 on the eastbound side. This is just before you get to the Alabama state line, up there about 2.5 miles, I guess. When they built the bypass around Columbus, they were going to put some drive-on scales on this side and on the other side, and they didn't quite have the money to do it. They put the 2 ramps here, but they never did put scales there on it. And so what this guy did was, used to, and it must still be, you couldn't run an oversized load in Alabama on the weekends. And like I said, it must still be like that, because what he did was he came to this ramp, he dropped this trailer with this thing, because it's massive. I'll get some I'll use my phone here and get some measurements on it where you can see it. So he dropped it right here to where it could set over the weekend. And then he'll probably come in here first thing in the morning, hook back up, and he'll haul tail with it on through Alabama. So I imagine this probably come, speculating, probably the port of Houston, and it's heading eastbound somewhere. So paint's kind of slick, man. So it looks like it's 12 foot 10 to the curve right there at the back, maybe. And then on up the side, it's going to be a little over 14 foot right there. So I'm at 6 foot right there, right at 6 foot. So that's probably going to be about, I can't get it to pick up. It's going to be about 8 foot tall on right there. And then these sides over here are going to be pushing 10 foot. We'll go across the front of it. So that cutting edge said Italy. This right here says Canada. Probably a combined effort of parts and pieces from all around. So it's going to be 12 foot wide. It's 12 foot. Let's see. There it is right there, 72-yard dragline bucket sitting right, everything's wet. Let's see, 72 yard. Wonder if it's got a weight on it right here where to show. Melter. Y'all bear with me, I'm gonna open this thing up and see if I can see if it's got a weight on it or not. God, dog, here it is right here. Total weight, 93,051 pounds. Good gracious alive. Dang it, man. This is already wet right here. Let's see. 72 yards and 93,000 pounds. Let me stop this camera and I'll put this paperwork back up real quick. So those of y'all who watch my videos on the one of Mr. Tom over there in Brookwood, Alabama, that's gonna be a bucket like what he was running right there. See, this part right here says China, and this says 12 tons right there on that. But look at it, see my Jeep right there? Look at the scale of that thing compared to my Jeep. Dang hoss, man. There, it's got with light, the caution lights on the side of it. So the teeth are gonna add several more thousand pounds to it, just the teeth on it. We'll get a couple pictures of it. Let's see. So you can see it. I could actually drive my Jeep up in that thing. It'd sit inside of it right there. It says China up there on that too. Just think what it took to build this thing, the welding on it. It's crazy. God, can you imagine? Okay, so it's got those two chains and binders right there, and probably got two up here on the front. Yeah, they got them crossed right there. They got 4 there. Oh gosh, man, that thing would be fun to pull around. That's crazy. And get it's trying to rain a little bit. All right, I got my pictures, got me a video. Beast. It's fun to see something like this, stop, film it, speculate where it come from, where's it going to. I freeze framed some of the stuff on the paperwork there and looked at it. Some of y'all may be able to make better heads or tails of it than what I did. y'all can probably figure it out. Some of y'all on there who watch these videos are really good at figuring stuff out. And you can probably dig just by the name on the top of the paperwork melter or whatever it is, and dig into it. There's several of y'all who are really good at that. But I guarantee you, out of 130 something thousand subscribers that I got and the views, out of that amount of people, there's probably somebody somewhere that is affiliated with this bucket, either somewhere in the process that knows a lot about it, knows where it's going to, and all that. It's obviously going to one of those giant drag lines like Mr. Tom that I was talking about in the video. And what I'll do is, in the description box of this video, or I'll pin a comment, one of the two, and I'll have that video of Mr. Tom back in, I think it was 2012. They were moving him 21 miles, and they didn't take him apart. And I got some up-close video of that whole deal when I was crossing the highway over at Brookwood, Alabama with it, and just a monumental task of pulling that off. But that's going to be the same machine like this bucket is going to go on. Like I said, it says ship 2 on it is Portland, Oregon, but it's headed eastbound, so it would be going the other way if it was going to Oregon. So like I said, I don't know. Somebody probably in my group of people that these videos go by knows about this thing. And if you do, you can shoot me an email. My email's in the description box in there too, below. You can shoot me an email and give me some details about it. It'd be cool to know how long it took to build it, how many workers or hands were involved in the welding on it and all that, whether it was machine. Well, I'm sure something this size right here, there was probably some machine welding done on it, but it's probably a lot of hand welding, I would imagine. I don't know. But I've had a lot of behind the scenes stuff on some of this raw stuff being built, especially with Rotobeck. I've been in their factories, 3 different factories of theirs, and watched them build stuff. And it's really, really cool to be a part of that. But it'd be cool to know some of the details on the ins and outs of this thing. But I can imagine, old boy, hauling that thing. It's because it's 12 foot wide inside that bucket. So it's going to put it on the outside at about, it's going to be pushing 15 foot wide or so on the outside of that thing, especially where the tie-in, the mounting points are on it. And pulling that thing down the road, as long as you're on the 4-lane, is probably not too bad. But golly, even on the 4-lane, when I was sitting here watching this and editing this, there's one thing this guy's got to contend with this going. And of course, he may be parked there too because of escort services. So I'm sure he's running an escort in front of and behind him both, probably checking height on bridges and overpasses. All right, so when you leave here heading east and you go into Alabama, you're going to hit the town of Reform. And in the very next town is the town of Gordo, Alabama. All right, so Gordo has a bridge that Highway 82 goes underneath. It's a rail bridge, and it's exactly 13.6 of clearance. And that thing has been hit so many times over the years. There has been stuff destroyed, equipment and different things hit. A lot of log trucks, people who load log trucks will load them too high. Log truck driver will go down through there and hit that bridge with a log on it and slide, come off in the middle of the highway or something. Warrior tractor and equipment over at Northport, Alabama. They've had a couple of machines that drivers have pulled through there and have been whacked on that bridge and just destroyed. And it says 13.6, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a little bit lower than 13.6 going up under. Because I know if I'm ever following a big truck and we're going out there and there's any question, I back way off that joker so that in the event that he does hit it, I don't get no collateral damage caught up in it. And there's no roads from where he's at on Highway 82 right here out of Columbus. So he's about 3 miles from the state line. You got Highway 17 that goes north and south right there in Reform. It's 2-lane. And then you've got 86 that's out of Reform that goes back toward Pickinsville. So he's going to have to go around that bridge up there somehow or another. So I don't know, and that may be what he's waiting on too. I'm sure that they had all the routes already laid out for him, where he's got to go and all that. Because on that stuff like that, they tell you where you can be and where you can't be when you getting your permits on all that. But it's a crazy piece, to see, because you don't get to see stuff that's that large, every day up close. It would be cool to follow that thing on to where it was going, depending on where it was, and then watch it get mounted up on where it's going. The other thing would be cool to know is how much that thing costs, because there's probably a lot of man hours in that thing, and I'm sure all the steel in it is probably hard ox steel too. Just cool stuff. Speculate down below. Feel free. Fill the comment section up. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.